is going on? This is Michael Hacker with the Hacker Outdoors podcast. On today's episode, Joey and I talk about hiking a new trail, catching a bowfin, and how they hunt gators in South Carolina. As always, if you liked what you heard, please leave us a review. And without further ado, here we
go. Oh man, pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll leave it up for a little while. Why not?
I like
your
it.
Christmas tree.
Oh, it's halfway decorated. I literally spent, this is not a joke, 6 hours trying to fluff this god darn thing. For some reason, I don't know why Riley has in her mind that she doesn't like live Christmas trees. So we always have this fake, and it's so annoying.
Well, I feel like that's a whole new thing, right? Like out of nowhere, everyone started getting these fake Christmas trees, and I don't know. We have a real one.
Next year, I'm going back to real. I hate a fake tree. Absolutely hate it. I was talking to my friend last night, and literally it was 6 hours of fluffing, and it's still not properly fluffed.
Yeah.
Still nothing. Still nothing. So, yeah. So I like the webcam. My Betty's got this fancy webcam. Tried it out. Gonna possibly buy it.
Looks good.
It's
got a nice glow to your face too, which is good.
Yeah, I took a shower today. My Laxbro hair is really starting to grow out. AK mullet. You know,
you can tell.
I wanted to get some more ornaments on the tree. That didn't happen. Didn't have time. So yeah.
So let's jump in, man. So, happy soon to be Friday here.
Yeah, it's almost Friday. Everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah, it seems to be the way that it is, right?
Exactly.
Well, we started off pretty good. We went on a nice quick hike on Sunday and did about 3.5 miles up at Split Rock Reservoir. It's Wildcat Ridge wildlife management area, and the woods there pretty barren. There's Ranger. So we did about 3.5 miles. We went up around this trail that followed the reservoir around, but it was super dead. It was a mild day, maybe about 50 degrees, but when that wind was howling off the reservoir, it felt like it was like maybe in the 20s.
Oh yeah.
And the trees were swaying all over the place. So we thought it was prudent to kind of turn around at a certain point, because not good to be in the woods when the trees start to break. And there was a significant number of trees down on the trail, surprisingly. But man, what a cool little place. I can't wait to, when you come up this way, maybe in the spring, we'll have to get out there and try some bass fishing.
Yeah, I saw the video on the YouTube. That lake looks amazing. And what was up with those random horses galloping in somebody's yard?
Well, we left. Yeah, that was something that was definitely crazy. We left the we'll call the wildlife management area, and you pull out into this like residential area, and I see ahead of me like these people are just braking and throwing on their emergency, like their hazards. And I was like, are those horses running? And sure enough, there were these horses running down the middle of the street, and they were being chased down by this woman in a quad. So I'm like, what the heck? So of course,
now, are you sure you weren't down south? I mean, this is happening somewhere besides down south, correct?
That this was in Morris County, New Jersey. Yeah.
Wow, that is impressive. Very impressive.
It was definitely interesting. We call the cops, of course. Series of no help when you ask what township you're in. So Rockaway Township is two. There's Rockaway Township and Borough of Rockaway. So you call one instead of the other because Siri tells you to, and prolongs the interaction with the police. So
right.
Luckily they caught them and there were no issues. So I'm glad to hear that they were returned home without issue. But man, it's the first time I've ever seen like where you can go up to the spillway off of a dam. So at the end of the lake there, they have this big dam, and there's a spillway coming down into a series of waterfalls. And then the first pool there had to have been maybe about 5 feet deep. And then that dumped down into another waterfall, which then went into a deeper pool, which I don't know how deep it was, didn't get a chance to measure it. But that's the beginning of the Beaver Brook, which is that brook that I was telling you about that you can
Yeah, I mean,
fish up and down.
that's what I was looking at, because that dumps right into the lake. Like, dude, that spot in the springtime, if you fish them where that creek meets that lake, I bet you they're pretty stacked up in there. I bet you
Yeah.
there. It's beautiful. Like I always say, Jersey has absolutely. I have dog toys everywhere in my house. Absolutely beautiful, wilderness. You tell people that who haven't seen it, and they just think you're insane.
Well, this place gets pretty packed. I know a bunch of people that were there that over the summertime they got dinged with tickets because there's not much parking at all. I'm on my Navionics app. I'm trying to find, and actually for some reason it's not showing me the depth. It's just showing lake. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, some of those smaller lakes. What's? Let me see. What's the name of the lake again? Let me look at mine and see if it does that.
Yeah, Split Rock Reservoir.
Navionics.
But when you look in on that section, man, I remember when I showed you this, just the sheer number of bodies of water. Like if you zoom out, just like a simple
dude,
pull out.
It's everywhere. I mean,
Holy cow!
it's crazy. Split Rock. See if it even shows up on mine. I'm curious. It might not be in their maps. It might show up on yours, maybe, because you're near it. Let me see. Sure, I'm spelling. Right, because did a lot of things. Split Rock Reservoir. There it is. Yeah, that's weird. It doesn't have a depth. I know sometimes with the smaller bodies, they don't have a lot of info on.
It's weird. So then you zoom out and you go to like the next closest lake to there. It's Green Pond. It looks like, and Green Pond actually has the depths, but it looks like Green Pond's smaller. It's just weird. I don't know, one of those things.
Yeah, I can't see, I can't even find it online. That's bizarre. Let me zoom way out and go up to New Jersey, to Danville, where Phineas and Ferb are from. Let's see. That's Allentown. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
it's always weird, man. I don't.
You're near not near Morrisville. Oh
It's
boy.
north of Morristown.
I see Round Valley Reservoir.
Yeah, you got to keep going. You got to go up.
Oh, even more north. I always forget. Oh, there's Morristown.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. You're gonna cross Route 80, and then before you get to 23 on the map, it's pretty much the biggest lake that's in front of you. It's shaped. It looks like someone doing an alley oop or something.
Yeah, just it's. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, on mine, it's literally just marked lake.
Yeah, when you get the thing on it, the cursor, it just says lake, which is
Oh yeah, mine shows the depths. Wow, it's got some wow. The deepest spots I'm seeing are like 60.
Really?
Yeah, the one side looks pretty shallow, but there's some pockets back here this pocket. Oh, I can't show. There's a pocket on the north end of the lake where it's all 1 foot, and there's this pocket with these crazy underground structures, and it goes from 1 foot to 9 pretty quickly. That would be.
I just exited out and I went back in, and it's giving me depth now, which is weird. But even the depths don't make sense. It's like everywhere is 0 to 1 foot, and then all of a sudden in this section, it's like over here, it's like 60 feet deep.
Right? Is it man-made though? If it's man-made, that could be a possibility that they just didn't dig out that other side, because it looks like the depths on the left side and then the south end, the very south. Oh.
Well, let's go to the old Wikipedia. So Split Rock Reservoir is a 1,500 acre of wilderness, part of Farney State Park, surrounded by 650 acre reservoir located on the borders of Rockaway Township, Kinnelon, and Morris County, New Jersey.
So yeah, since it's a reservoir, it's man-made. I wonder if maybe they were doing like mining operation there on those deeper spots.
Here you go. Split Rock is an attractive area for fishermen with small watercraft. Everything has to be rooftop. I did see that. So you don't have any room for any kind of trailering at all. You have to have rooftop, and you actually have to carry whatever it is you're using down, like basically this trail, going down a couple 100 feet, and then you have a nice 2 docks there that are there. But it says anglers can expect decent fishing for bass, crappie, and chain pickerel in the reservoir. Split Rock is categorized as a lunker lake by the state of New Jersey, as there is a 3 bass limit and they must be over 15 inches.
I can't believe people keep bass. That's bizarre to me that people keep bass and eat them. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm looking at the images on Google. It's a beautiful lake. I mean, so how bad do you think the hike would be with us carrying
here's what
the
it says.
kayak up?
The shoreline, there's no shoreline fishing at Split Rock. No, I think it would be fine. I mean, we got wheels. I bought wheels for them in the summer.
Well, that's a new addition. That's exciting.
It is exciting. So the wheels should definitely help. But it's still like they have carved out like steps and stuff like that, like every 10 feet or so. So you're going to be bumping around. I mean, I've lost my wheels in like 10 times trying to wheel my canoe even around the yard. Like it just slides right off sometimes. So there's no, I'm not trying to cramp it down and break anything, because they may not be the most expensive wheels in the world, but they're going to do the job.
I've been debating maybe getting a kayak this year for my local reservoirs, and if that's the case, I could bring that up there.
Oh, man.
I'd rather be in the canoe with you. The canoe is it's just such an adventure in itself. It's amazing.
Oh, I love my canoe, man. It needs when it warms up a little bit in the springtime, I got to do a little bit of work to it. So I gotta, I ordered seats for it when we bought the canoe. So we bought the canoe used. I think I talked about this in one of the earlier ones, but I ordered seats for it because the cane seats ripped literally the moment we brought it home, and still haven't arrived. Like they can't get seats anywhere. So at this point, like I canceled my order, and I'm just gonna make them myself. I'm just gonna get like the fabric and stuff that you use on like patio furniture, and get a couple pieces of wood and frame it out, and I'll MacGyver my way into some new seats.
You can also buy. I had pictures of that guy's boat. There's these seats that fold up and down, and they're not that expensive, and they last forever.
The ones that actually connect,
and they're like $15-20, maybe a little bit more. But they're not wicker. They're actually like a plastic, and they come with a cover. And believe it or not, they're super comfortable and super durable. That could be
when you were on it, did we have the seats?
We had the wicker.
All right, so I went out and we bought some attachable seats, so that goes over the wicker seat, and it just latches into place, and it's got some cushions on it. I actually do not like using it when I fish, because I'm up and down and I'm kneeling, I'm sitting, and I'm like moving around trying to get things out of the toolbox and the fishing tackle box and whatnot. So I choose not to sit too much, because it's also, when I'm the only person on the canoe, it's easier for me to navigate and row from sitting down or from kneeling towards the center of the boat. So I rarely use it, but when Donna and I go out, or when I brought the nephews out, that's the seats are always on it, and they do fine. But I mean, the wood's going to need to be replaced soon. That's for sure. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the canoe. I mean, if people have never been fishing in a canoe, it's something you absolutely have to try, because it can be really tough and humbling. When that wind's going, I mean, you're paddling and staying in position constantly. It's definitely challenging. It really is. I mean, you see guys with canoes. They'll put trolling motors on them, which is pretty nuts. But it would be nice. It'd be nice.
Well, that was the goal, was to get they call them S canoes, I think, were the old ones, and they're square back canoes. Pretty cool, because you put a trolling motor right on it. So for my canoe, we can still get a trolling motor, but you have to get this I don't even know what the heck they call it, but basically it's a piece of wood that goes inside and outside of the frame of the canoe, and then there's like maybe about a foot long piece of wood that sticks out. You connect the motor to that, which is awkward too, because that's on the side of the canoe. It's not on the back. So it's like, I don't know. It just seems like it's more dangerous than it's worth.
Gotcha.
But I would, you and I talked about this. I would still love to get that, that frame
outrigger?
that goes over. Yeah, the
Yeah.
outrigger thing with the standing platform. I think that would be awesome. It was just transporting would suck.
They're expensive though, aren't they?
I think the one place I found were like, it was like $3,000 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little nuts. It's,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I wonder if you
Oh.
could build something. You look at them, it's like, they should be easy to build. That's my daughter on a surfboard.
Well, you can't see anything except
Nope, just her diaper and her Roxy, her Roxy rash guard. You should have never showed me this.
No,
All right,
you're
there we
just
go.
gonna keep messing with it.
No.
So
Shit.
let's. What? Oh, you have it back.
There you go. Yeah.
So what happened this week, man?
So everybody knows I was down south in Bayou country. Not really. It's called the Low Country, South Carolina.
Low country.
Got to do a good bit of fishing on the Waccamaw River, Waccamaw. The Waccamaw River they call it Southern Myrtle Beach area is where we launched from. Myrtle's inlet area, very, very, very pretty area. But that river system's huge. It connects to all different rivers. I mean, you can take it all the way down to the Santee Cooper, the Santee River, and then you could take it all the way from the Santee all the way up into Lake Moultrie and Lake Marion, and to the north it runs into the PD River system, and then it runs all the way out, which I didn't realize. It runs all the way out to past Columbia, South Carolina, and almost into North Carolina. It connects to a lake up there. I forget the name of the lake. So the last day, what happens is when they get a lot of rain up there, I'm talking northwestern Myrtle Beach, not Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, North Carolina border, but in the middle of the state, when they get a lot of rain, which always happens in the fall, which is now down there, they really don't have a winter. They'll open the dam, and what happens is when they open the dam, obviously all that water runs all the way down to the Waccamaw, trying to make it out to the ocean, but it can make for some really heavy flooded. They're not even really tides. Flood the river pretty badly. The last day I went out, I was out 2 days earlier, and the river was at a normal level. Now we didn't have any rain down there, but 2 days later we go out, and where we launched, the water was easily 10 foot past the ramp out into the parking lot, just because of them releasing the dams. And what that does down there, like anywhere else, it muddies the water up, and you really don't get, so fishing tidal rivers, you fish the tides. Low tide is really the time it's the best, because what happens is when the tide's sucking out, it's sucking all the bait out, and it's like a smorgasbord for the bass. It's like a sizzler for the bass. They don't have to move. They can sit in their cover, and the bait fishers are going yoop, and they just come out and eat it. Well, that second day with them releasing the dams, the tide was supposed to start sucking at 10 a.m. and drop 6 feet, and it was supposed to go to like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Well, when we got off the water at 4:35, like 5:15, because it's still light down there, it was just finally starting to draw real hard. The other problem is with the water muddying up down there, the watercolor you want down there, they call it Dr. Pepper, because it's black water, it's swamp water, and it looks just like Dr. Pepper. It's like that color. It's super clear, but it's Dr. Color, and that's what you want. We didn't get it because of the flood and the low tide. Once the tide finally started sucking, the water changed, but by that time it was dark. So that kind of shut the bite down, but we still caught a limit. We still caught fish.
And then you caught something that you were too thrilled about.
They call them mudfish down there, Bowfin.
Yeah.
That thing, had to be over 6 pounds. It was huge,
How
absolutely
was the
huge.
fight?
It's amazing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about that. When it hit at first, because we couldn't see it, we thought it was a bass for the first 30 seconds till we saw it roll, and then we could get a little picture, look at it. But the fight's amazing. It was a hell of a fight. Those things are mean. They want to bite you, and they can take your fingers off. I never realized how sharp their teeth were. So that day it was like 74 degrees, and I had my shoes off, fishing the top deck, and we got the mudfish off, and it slipped out of the hand, and it landed on the deck. That thing was trying to bite my toes. I mean, they're mean. They're mean
See,
fish.
it's because you wussed out and wouldn't try and catch a tiger shark for us.
It could be. It could be.
You had to do it for the gram, but you didn't do it. So the bowfish was doing its job.
I guess so, but I'll give you a surf report because there was where we stay at, where the condo is. There's a couple from up north. I think they're actually from New Jersey. Older. They were surf fishing every day. They didn't get anything. I don't know if they were doing it right or what, but that should give you a little happiness that they weren't catching anything. Just a whole lot of shrimping going on out there, just shrimping like crazy. But bowfin fish, mudfish, they call them down there. To me, I mean, yes, it was fun to catch one because I never caught one before. But I love bass, and when you're going for bass and you catch a bowfin, it's like, damn it, get out of here, because you got to retie. You have to retie. I mean, their teeth are insane. If you don't retie, I'm trying to find a picture here. I mean,
well, we're trying our hand tomorrow, so we got about just over a foot of snow here, but we're going to try our hand at some landlocks tomorrow, and they do stock with rainbow trout, and they have some lakers up there, so we're going to do some shore fishing, and hopefully the lake isn't completely frozen over by around lunchtime when we go.
So what's the temperature supposed to be there tomorrow?
It's supposed to start to get up. I think. Hold on a second.
I mean, because I think it's supposed to be chilly down here. I mean,
well, that's in my opinion perfect.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, if you're dressed warm, it's it's comfortable, unless that wind's going. When that wind's going,
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the kids do. I mean, it's 32, partly cloudy.
Oh, that won't be that.
Winds at 4, so
it won't be that bad. So you're taking both the boys out?
Yeah, we're taking both. Well, I should say I'm taking both the boys out, and if it's not too breezy, we're going to bring the fly rods just in case we're going to go right on the dock. We're not actually going to take the canoe out, and we'll do a little bit of shore fishing as well. Work our way around a little bit, especially to that one spot where it dips down pretty deep. But I think, our time at the lake, and I'm not going to spot burn it. That first cove to the left is pretty good. It looks pretty juicy. I think it's right off a nice deep decline, and it goes up to about 5 feet deep pretty quickly. So I think with the cold weather, they should be holding right there, and that's right within casting distance, we'll say, of the dock, and then the immediate grassy area right next to it. So we'll fish there. We'll try not to make it too far, especially if it's going to be cold. And I don't know how long they're going to last out there. I mean, I would stay out all day if I could, but
yeah, it's tough. It's tough with them. I don't know. I mean, they could be okay.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, they're excited. The older one was texting me and saying how he wants to catch a muskie and he wants to catch a monster fish and this and that. And it's like, don't we all, brother? Like,
yeah. I've never caught a muskie. That is one I would like to get.
Well, it's in the spring, early spring. Let's go up to that lake that I was telling you about. That's not very large. That's about as large as the town lake here. That's stocked to the gills
with muskie.
Of muskie. Yeah,
that is pretty awesome.
Although it's pretty well known now, so I think it's gets kind of crazy depending upon the day. I think I was
Right.
telling you the guy showed up the one day with like $120,000 bass boat, and he's like, "You've been catching muskie here?" It's like, "Nope, there's no such thing."
They don't exist. What's a muskie?
I was like the guy in my little brook that I fish for brook trout that I love, and I guess they were running that they run up this trail, and they see me coming out of the woods with my fly fishing gear and my waders on, and they're like, "Oh, what are you fishing for in there? Are there trout in there?" It's like, no, I just like
Shark.
walk. I like walking with my fly rod. That's all, just in case. And the waders keeps the bugs from getting on me. That's all. That's
You
the
should
reason
just
why.
tell them you're a model and you're out there shooting for next year's catalog.
Uh, well, it's difficult because you want to do a service for people and kind of help them, but at the same time, it's like, you have your holes and you do not want to spot burn. We talked a little bit about that with Brian, right? Like
Yeah.
you have a duty to kind of protect the areas that you're in. I mean, there's just too many people here in Jersey, man. Like if that gets out that's a hot spot, I mean, next time I go up there, it's going to be decimated. Like, and they're protected, the brook trout. So people shouldn't be overfishing for them. I mean, there's a whole, I'm in the middle of that April Loki podcast regarding fishing and fishing during the reds, which is their breeding season, right?
Right.
It's like, do you fish for them or don't you fish for them? I lay off them for a few weeks now. I think come January, I'll start fishing for trout again. If it's a decent day, I'll go to the creek and that brook and maybe another river that I like and continue to fish for them. But yeah, man.
So I got a picture here of the bowfin teeth, but I can't figure out how to share it on there. It's not working.
So if you go to share screen on the bottom, that green arrow pointing up.
Yep.
And then when you hit that, you should be able to select what you're trying to share. So share
gotcha.
just the tab or whatever browser you're using.
Gotcha. All right. Did that bring it up?
Oh, geez. Yeah, man.
See these things?
Wow.
And they were longer than that. The one I caught, it was huge. That's not what they look like. What we caught. They were pretty gnarly, man. I mean, they can take your fingers off. I mean, it's no joke. The one I caught, I mean, it looked like shark teeth to me. I mean, you can see right there. See how that is? Not really. I mean, the few people do. He said it's not really something people go after to eat. Some of the old timers, he said, will eat them.
Here you go, outdoorcanada.ca. Can you eat bowfin?
People do eat them. He said people do eat them. I can't imagine they would taste good. They lay in the mud. That's why they call them mudfish. So like muddy spots, same spot kind of where you expect to see crocodiles, shallow water in the mud. They'll lay down in there and just hang out down there. I don't know if there's different types of bowfin in different areas, if they're the same down south, if they are up north, if there's different types of species, blah 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 blah. But it was nuts. I didn't like it. I did not like it.
State.nj.us, a record bowfin. Craig Raffe, will say is his name, caught an impressive bowfin in Lake Tranquility in 1998. The fish tipped the scales at 8 pounds 4 ounces. I mean, this kid looks like he's a young kid. Yeah, that's beautiful. I don't even know where the heck Lake Tranquility is.
I mean, they kind of look like snakehead, really. Snakeheads get these really awesome colors of it. But they had the same body shape, and like I said, it was a hell of a fight. It's just bass is my thing, man. We caught some big crappie too. The guy I fished with, he was actually on the pro tour crappie tour, and there's huge crappie in that river. He said the biggest he's got now there's like 3 pounds in crappie size. That is humongous.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think I have a picture of the one crappie he caught the one day. And to me, from what I see up here, I was like, God, that's a huge crappie. He's like, this is nothing, man. And he started showing me pictures. I'm like, wow. I mean, that river has monster bass in there. I guess it's a good secret. I don't know. A lot of people don't fish it, like out of towners. It's heavily fished by the locals, but I mean, there's 10 pounders. I mean, when you go out there, you every time you have a legitimate shot with a 5 pounder. Um,
Wow.
I think the biggest he's had a client get was like 10-2 during the summer. He said he gets a lot of the client. I mean, pretty much every trip they're getting 5-6 pounders. If you're ever down there, you got to look him up. Anybody listening, great prices, um, a great guy, and he'll put you on fish. His knowledge of that river is unbelievable. Actually, people, new boat owners or people who move down there pay him to take them out to teach them the river and learn the ins and outs. I mean, he is extremely well versed on that river.
Yeah, I'm looking for my crappie picture from the town lake here. It was one of the
There's
largest freaking fish.
oh, I mean, this crappie he caught. Maybe he posted on his Facebook. Was insane. But the bass down there, and the good thing is summertime. A lot of time in the summer, bass fishing can be tough because of the temperatures. They're relaxing because of the high heat. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But on that river with all this, the cypress trees and the Spanish moss, it's covered so it's real cool. So he said down there in the summer, the bite just stays on. It's like it's incredible, an incredible bite. Um, his name's Captain Todd. I mean, just a great guy. We'll link his info in the show notes. I mean, if you're ever down in Myrtle Beach and you're looking to bass fish or go offshore, he also does offshore charters. He's a man. She needs to start fishing tournaments. I'm telling you. I mean, she slays them. Absolutely slays them. It's
Mine is,
amazing.
I mean,
Amazing.
I'm happy as heck that she does, but
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, let's see. Where does that put his information? Yeah, I'm gonna see if I have any of these crappie on his Facebook page. I'll share it with you guys. Hold on. Captain Todd. But the alligator, we kind of touched. I don't know. Oh, you didn't put it in the last video. So they hunt alligators down there, obviously. But there's a size limit, down there. I think they have to be over 4 inches. So you'll see when you watch the alligator shows on TV, they'll put bait out on a rope with a hook, and they come back and the alligator's on the hook and they pull it up. That's not how you do it in South Carolina. You're not allowed to. What they do is they have like surf rods, real long, heavy, like stout rods, can handle big fish. They put 100-pound braid on there. And then at the end of the 100-pound braid, they have treble hooks. They tie treble hooks on. So what you have to do, you have to find the gators, where the gators at. Then you have to sneak up on them in the boat so they don't hear you, because if they hear you and they kind of sense you're getting close, he said they'll go off. So you got to stealthily come up on them, cast that rod, and try to snag the alligator.
jeez.
If you do snag the alligator, then you have to fight it like a fish to the boat, then, kill it and bring it in the boat. But you have to fight the gator like a fish. I mean, that is nuts to me. Absolutely nuts. I might have to do it. I might have to go down there and do it with them. Well,
I told
I
my nephews about that, and they were like, "What?" I'm like, yeah, it's
yeah,
it's insane, insane,
nuts. Absolutely nuts.
absolutely insane. Well, Joe, I think we're coming up to
And it goes too fast.
about time
Way
here.
too
Yeah, we
fast.
just jump in and hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I hope everyone enjoyed. What we'll do is we'll put a try and do this again on for a Tuesday release. So if anyone has any comments, please leave them in the notes. We also do have a message system. So if you go to Anchor, our Anchor site, you can actually go on Anchor and leave us a voice message. And if you've got questions or want to just, say, hey, what's going on, you're more than welcome to do that. We'll go ahead and post it in the next show. And Joe, always a pleasure, man. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow.
Before we go, I want to give 2 shots out first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
First, I want to give Captain Todd a shout out here. I just couldn't find him on my Facebook. I'm pulling it up right now, the name of his company. I know I sent it to you, and of course I lost it like an idiot. Well, anyway, the second shout out is a sponsor of mine. It's sponsor of mine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this real quick because I know I'm in a rush. We'll have to just list that in the show notes.
You're talking about stretching lines?
Yeah. Oh, no, Stretching Lines. Stretching Lines is a sponsor of mine. Be sure to check out stretchinglines.com. They make quality handmade plastics, hand poured. He's a great guy. It's a small company trying to get off the ground. Definitely check them out and use discount code JMStaff15 and you'll get 15% off. But be sure to check them out. Great company, great baits.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and link to that as well so everyone has that.
And then I can't find his charter. We'll have to hit that next time.
Yeah, we'll put it in the notes as well.
But yeah, man, I can't wait for the next one. This one fast. That was 30 minutes already. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend.
All right, later.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was the Hacker Outdoors podcast with Joey McCormick. If you liked what you heard, please give us a rating on whatever platform you're listening to or watching this on. Please check out the show notes below for some links about the topics we discussed today. So I thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk again next week. Take care.